Okay, we've got our butter inside. It's softened up, so I'm going to paddle it. And just like all of the cookie dough recipes that we've made so far, we're doing the cream butter method. So we start off where we cream the butter, we paddle it till it's light and fluffy, and we constantly are using our spatula to get the butter off the paddle and down the sides of the bowl. All right, to release it so it's not stuck on there. We'll start it up again, and then we add the sugars, paddle those in, and then we add the eggs one at a time, the vanilla, and then our dry ingredients. Now while that's stirring, I have here all of our rehydrated raisins, cranberries, golden raisins, and I'm going to add in the coconut. We want to mix this all together, so that way when we're adding it into the cookie dough, you're not overworking the flour to mix all of this in. And I'm using my hand because I want to, there's a couple lumps in the coconut like this, and I want to break those up. So I'm just using my hand to stir it. You want to mix all of that together. Break up all the lumps of coconut so that way when we add in all the dried fruit at the end, we're not over mixing it. You especially don't want to over mix it when you're using oatmeal in your cookie dough recipe, because what ends up happening is all those beautiful nice oats get broken into tiny little bits, and then that's no fun. You don't want an oatmeal cookie that's, you can't tell it's oatmeal because it's all broken up to smithereens, okay? So make sure you're adding in your ingredients that you're not overworking your recipe. You don't want to break those up, but also you don't want to overwork the gluten in the flour, because then you'll have a tough cookie. Gluten is the protein strands that make the flour strong, like when you're making bread. Okay, so now if you look in here, you'll see the butter has been paddled and it's a little bit lighter. So now we're going to add our granulated sugar, but let me just get that hunk off of the paddle so it's not stuck. Scrape down the sides. I always turn the machine off whenever I'm adding ingredients. Okay, it's better to be safe. And start it up again. It's also locked into place on this side. And we're going to keep mixing that until the butter and sugar have mixed together. And then I'm going to add in our brown sugar. All right, so now the butter, brown sugar, and white sugar have mixed together. I'm going to add the egg one at a time. And we're going to stir that in until it's completely incorporated. I've mixed together the cranberry, raisins, golden raisins, and coconut. And now we have our dry ingredients. So here's our salt. I'm going to add it to the flour and our baking powder. We're going to add that together, okay? And that way they will be mixed in. And I'm just going to use a measuring spoon because I have it there. You want it mixed in evenly. All right, so you can see that the egg has been completely mixed in. I'm going to add the next one in. And again, mix that. Scrape down the sides. Then I'll add the vanilla. Mix all of that together. And then we will add in our flour. Then goes the oats. And then last will be our dried fruits. Okay, so I added the vanilla, mixed it in, and now I've added the flour. And again, we're going to lock this into place over here. And then we're going to pulse it on and off so that we don't get our ingredients everywhere. Now, before this is all completely mixed in, I'm going to add in our oats. All right, we don't want to overwork the flour in our gluten. Ooh, I spilled some. But that's why you always work on a clean work surface, so that way you can scoop everything up that you dropped. All right, get that in and pulse it again on off. And then before I add the fruit, I'm going to scrape down. I'm going to unlock it, bring that up. And we're going to scrape down the paddle. Oh, better when you have two hands to work with it. But anyhow, I'm going to scrape all of this down, get everything back in the bowl that I just spilt out of it. Pulse it one more time, and then I'm going to add in all those fruits. I have the dried fruits inside our mixing bowl, and now again, you see how full it is? I'm going to pulse it on and off. All All right, I don't want to have everything going all over the place, but you can see there's still a little bit of flour not completely mixed in. That's because while we're mixing in all these dried fruits, we're going to get everything completely mixed in. You don't want to add the fruit after everything's mixed in, because then you're going to overwork the gluten. Okay, so now I'm going to stop. I'm not even going to do it any longer. It has pulled back from the sides, so the dough has come together, and I'm turning it off. And what I'll do is scrape all of it into this bowl, because I want to scoop the cookies with the ice cream scoop and put them on this sheet pan. It's much easier to scoop out of a short bowl instead of this mixing bowl. So I'll do that and then show you how to scoop them. Here we have all the cookies scooped out on the sheet pan, and I'm using this ice cream scoop to do it. And we fill it up, and we want all of the cookies the same size so that way they'll bake evenly. And we spread them out so that way the hot air can circulate around them. And I'm just gonna put this last one right here. Now these cookies do not spread. So what you need to do is just use the palm of your hand and flatten them out. If you don't want to use the palm of your hand, you can use the bottom of a glass. We want to flatten them out, otherwise they're going to bake like little rocks instead of flat cookies. So you want to help press them down and use the back of your hand. You can make them bigger too. I just happen to have that scoop handy, but if you wanted to make them bigger, please go right ahead. And so now they've all been flattened, and I'm going to put them into a 300-degree oven. So this oven's at 300 degrees. It's been on for a while, so it's already preheated, and I'm going to bake these, and I'm going to check them in about 6 minutes and rotate the sheet pan. Okay, I just got these out of the oven. They're very hot, so I just want to show you the bottom is nice and golden. So these are done. As you can see, they really don't spread, okay? So just be aware of that. So make sure you remember to flatten them with the palm of your hand before you put them into bake, because you can see they don't spread, they don't flatten, okay? So I'm gonna let these cool, and then I'm gonna taste one. Yum! All right, but this is how it should look. And that was 13 minutes at 300 degrees, okay? So I set it for 6 minutes, rotated the sheet pan, another 6 minutes. It wasn't done, 1 more minute, got the right color, took them out, okay? So you do have to monitor your oven while you're baking. Okay, I took a big bite out of that cookie, and it is absolutely delicious. It is so good. There's coconut, raisins, golden raisins, cranberries. Absolutely tastes delicious. So this is a great oatmeal ambrosia cookie, and they're wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and you will make this recipe at home. Take care, everybody. Bye.